Like, I get that we make it look easy, but it's because that's our job. It's my job is to make tattooing look easy. Hi guys, it's Holly and welcome to Ask a Tattoo Artist. Ask a Tattoo Artist is my series of videos on YouTube where I answer your questions about tattooing from the point of view of a tattoo artist, which is me. So I put a prompt up on my Instagram inviting you to ask me questions which I would then film answers to for my YouTube. So here I am doing it. So Tilly Mill asks, how do I feel about untrained people doing their own tattoos or their own stick and pokes? So the first thing that comes to mind is that I have done some of my own tattoos. I did them when I was learning, and I'm gonna put a little thing of video over the top of this so you can see some of them. One of them I've actually had covered up recently, not because it was terrible, but because I put it in a really dumb place where it was on the top of my thigh, somewhere that I could look at and get to easily, and I put it there just for that reason and sort of ruined a good canvas. So I have since had it lasered and then covered up. But I think the difference there is that I was learning to be a tattoo artist at the time, and what's being asked here is what do I think of untrained people doing their own tattoos. I'm going to give you the boring obvious answer, which is I just think it's a terrible idea, most seriously because you could give yourself an infection, and sort of less importantly that you'll probably end up with a tattoo that you don't like and you will want to get covered at some point in the future. There's a lot more to tattooing than just understanding how to use the equipment, but obviously understanding the equipment is an important part of doing a competent tattoo. And if you don't know what you're doing, chances are you're going to give yourself a pretty shitty tattoo that you end up regretting and want covering up. I know that I do a lot of tattoo cover-ups on little tiny tattoos that people have done themselves, or had a friend do for them, and it was all fun at the time because you think you're going to get a cute little tattoo like off Tumblr, and then you've ended up, you know, spending a lot of money to get it covered up. If it was as simple as just you buy a tattoo machine off the internet and you just start tattooing people, why would anyone pay money to experts? And I do understand that it can be, it can draw you in this idea of, why would I pay money for a tattoo when I can just buy a tattoo machine off Amazon or whatever for 20 quid and just tattoo my friends? It's because there's so much more to tattooing that you're probably not understanding. And what's that famous quote that's something like, only intelligent people realise how stupid they are, or something like that? Because in other walks of life, you expect the person that you're going to be an expert. So you would hire a plumber, because you would expect them to be an expert. You would hire an electrician because you would expect them to be an expert. But for whatever reason, people think that if they buy the tattoo machine off the internet, that they will then be able to do a good tattoo. And it's just bizarre. Like, can you make your own clothes? Like, if you had to commit to wearing one t-shirt for the rest of your life, would you, having no prior knowledge of knowing how to make a t-shirt or doing any sewing, you have owned a few t-shirts, so you know what a t-shirt is, would you buy a sewing machine off the internet and just have a go at making a t-shirt and be stuck with wearing that first one that you've ever made for the rest of your life? Probably not. That's the best analogy I can think of off the top of my head. Buying a sewing machine doesn't make you good at making clothes, and by that logic, like, buying a tattoo machine doesn't mean that you're good at tattooing. Because on a very fundamental level, the kind of things that you're probably not understanding, I mean, okay, let's say it's a given that you're already good at drawing and you've drawn something really attractive that's going to make a nice tattoo and be suited to the area, which is unlikely, but let's just go with that you've drawn something cool and it would be a cool tattoo, and you've applied that to the person, it looks excellent. The actual tattooing part is hard. Like, the stuff that we're doing, like, I get that we make it look easy, but it's because that's our job. It's my job is to make tattooing look easy. If I didn't make it look easy, then I wouldn't be a very good tattoo artist. But there's all kinds of things that we're having to consider, that it shows how much you don't understand it, the fact that you don't even know that you should be considering it. Does that make sense? So I don't think tattooing yourself is a good idea if you're not trained. Number one, for hygiene reasons. Number two, because you're probably going to end up with a shit tattoo that half falls out, half blows out, goes green, goes green over time, I mean. But yeah, worst case scenario, could be infected, because we've all seen it, people tattooing in their kitchens. I actually had a friend of mine posted on Instagram not that long ago, filming another friend of theirs getting tattooed in their kitchen using one of these stick and poke tattoo kits that I presume they bought off the internet, with no gloves on like a fabric chair. That is gross, and you shouldn't do that. So I'm gonna lump in, I think I started answering this question from the getting a tattoo, and I was sort of presuming that you would have a tattoo machine, but I apply exactly the same thing to stick and pokes as well. So although I have been talking about tattoo machines, I do also mean stick and pokes, because ultimately it's the same kind of thing. I think you're probably less likely to do as big of a fuck up if you just did a stick and poke, because by the nature of them they are small and it takes a while, so you're not likely to do a great big tattoo that you end up hating. But I can pretty much guarantee you're going to end up hating it, so save yourself the hassle and don't bother. If you're interested in tattooing and you think it's something you'd like to get into, think about finding an apprenticeship and getting into tattooing that way. I think doing stick and pokes on your mate at home, just don't bother. If you want to get a tattoo, just go to a tattoo shop and get a tattoo. But yeah, I don't think it needs too much more answering that question. My answer is going to be no, don't do it, because it's gross and it's probably going to look crap and you'll regret it. Just come and get a proper tattoo off an artist who knows what they're doing. So I hope you found this answer helpful. That was a pretty fun one, actually. If you have a question for me, please ask me in the comments underneath. Likewise, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, because it helps my video get seen. I think you guys all know that the YouTube algorithm doesn't necessarily show my videos to people even if they're subscribed. So if you like and comment and share and that kind of stuff, it really helps my content to get seen. If you want to check out my tattoo work, you can find me on Instagram. My name there is @Holly_Astral. And that is all from me and my troll friend here, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.